the market losing about 19 points, so not a major decline, but nonetheless trading in the red today. Kayode?
Yes, please, Lerato.
All right, your views on the markets today, ending the session in the red?
Well, you'll see that the brokers and the traders on the Nigerian Stock Exchange are really responding at this time to results. So, I mean, the changes that you're seeing are driven by strong fundamentals. As you see that we're seeing some gain in Guinness. That happened last Friday. We're seeing similar growth in the Guinness stock today as well. There are a few losers for today that we've seen. On the losers table, we see the Nigerian breweries, Ashika, and international breweries. And so as you see the breweries gaining in terms of fundamental results, you see that some of the breweries, are also losing. And you will know that there's like the lager war in Nigeria at this time. The international breweries, that's Heineken, Guinness, they're trying to take a bit of the market share with SAB in South Africa. So we expect that the fundamentals will continue to drive this sector of the Nigerian economy.
All right, so that's what's happening on the brewery side. What about the banks? They did account for the largest turnover last week. The largest activity was within the banking sector. We still don't have clarity as to which banks are being taken over with proposed merger and acquisition activity, whether or not some will fall under the umbrella and stewardship of AMCON. Is that a worry?
Well, on those arid banks, because when you talk about the acquisition or the mergers of those banks, I would, expect that we're talking about the arid banks, the rescued banks. And as today, I think, the best that any acquisition process has gone to is the signing of the MOU stage. There's still, from the MOU stage to the time that we complete a transaction, I would say between 60 to 90 days. I mean, so it is signing that, getting regulatory approvals at SEC, getting to the court for the shareholders of the banks to pass, necessary resolutions that will bring the new shareholders in. So, I mean, in terms of that, I see that, we still have about 60 to 90 days to go. However, if you look at, the trading of the banks, I think it's similar to what I've said about the Guinness. The investing public, they're concentrating on the values. And you see that for the banks immediately, I mean, the quarterly results, which has been made mandatory by the NSE for the banks to publish, as I went to. Once we have good results, you see that investing public, which you would have noted, over the past year, that comprises 60% of the international traders, I mean, from out of London, out of Europe, I mean, they just respond to the numbers.
Kayode, what's going on in terms of the market's response to the court's decision regarding the former head of the Nigeria Stock Exchange and awarding damages to her dismissal?
Well, I did not see any significant reaction from the market today. And that is expected. I mean, the details of that court judgment, we have not seen it. And I expect that there will be some appeal from the regulatory body. But I think there was a similar judgment. It might not be the same thing, but I mean, something similar had happened at First Bank before. And it went in this kind of direction in favor of, the former CEO. So, I mean, I do not see the end of this judgment where the former DG of Nigerian Stock Exchange will come back to the exchange. However, I think it has a strong implication in terms of the settlement, and I think that it may likely end up in, settling and ensuring that, the Nigerian capital market moves forward.
Meanwhile, in the past week, the new head of the Nigerian Stock Exchange has now met with stakeholders and members of the press in terms of outlining his plans together with his executive team for the bourse. Anything really mind-blowing that's come out of that in terms of new listings or corporate bond issuances or new products that are going to come online?
Well, at this stage of the Nigerian capital market, especially the Nigerian Stock Exchange, I think that, in terms of capacity, we're really below, the capacity that we can drive here. If you look at our exchange, none of the major telecoms companies listed at this time. The oil and gas firms. I mean, the closest we got to was the listing of a major upstream company that is Carmack about 2 years ago. But none of the upstream company. Well, people will argue that Wando is an upstream company, but the Shells of this world, the Chevron of this world, they're not listed, and Mobile, and all the telecoms, the MTNs. And the Airtels, they are not listed. It's a lot. We need those ones to be on the exchange. And I believe that if the current CEO of the Nigerian Stock Exchange can pursue that, working hand in hand with the regulatory authorities in Nigeria, probably giving this set of special investors some tax rebates, to encourage them to list on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I see, a positive trend in bringing these people onto the exchange and moving the Nigerian capital market forward.